Justice Hari Prasad Fuyal has sought clarification for not proceeding with the case against Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson Rabi Lamichhane regarding the abuse of his passport. Good evening, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. House of Representatives at snail's pace as government fails to assign business. Procedures yet to begin for formation of significant laws. Budget session likely to be affected. Questions raised on the investigation process of the CIAA as clean chit issued on 60% of the cases. Anti-graft body prioritizing minor grievances while policy-related corruption remains ignored. The Department of Environment itself unaware about the status of air quality across the country. 24 out of 27 monitoring stations are of operation. Inadequate funds identified as the reason. And Vietnam thrashed Nepal 5-1 in the first match under the Asian qualifiers of the Women's Olympic Football Paris 2024. Nepali Eves failed to handle the pressure of playing a World Cup team. The Supreme Court has demanded documentation certifying Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson Rabi Lamichhane's renouncement of the American citizenship while receiving a new Nepali citizenship from the District Administration Office. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has also demanded clarification from the government for not proceeding with the case against Lamichhane regarding the abuse of his passport. In the writ filed by Yuvraj Paudel against the decision of the Office of the Attorney General regarding not proceeding with the case on abuse of passport against Lamichhane, the single bench of Supreme Court Justice Hari Prasad Fuyal has asked for documents clarifying Lamichhane's renouncement of the American citizenship. The bench has also asked for clarification regarding the decision against proceeding with the case related to the abuse of passport against Lamichhane. Meanwhile, citing inadequate claims in the grievance filed against Lamichhane's candidacy for the by-election of the House of Representatives in Chitwan Electoral Constituency 2, his candidacy has remained intact. According to the Office of the Chief Election Officer Bharatpur, candidacy of Lamichhane is to remain intact, citing inadequate claims in 3 grievances filed against his candidacy. 3 candidates, including 2 independent candidates, had filed grievances against Lamichhane's candidacy. The Office of the Chief Election Officer has decided not to take any action against Lamichhane's candidacy, citing inadequate claims after Lamichhane furnished his clarification. Meanwhile, the grievance filed by Advocate Yuvraj Paudel is to be investigated by the Election Commission itself. In this case, Lamichhane has been asked to furnish his response within 7 days. Prior to this, Lamichhane had reached the Office of the Chief Election Officer to furnish a 6-page clarification earlier today. The House of Representatives has not been able to formulate any laws despite nearing 3 months of the beginning of the session. 3 bills are under consideration at the lower house at the moment. Now, except for endorsing the House regulations, procedure for formulation of other laws have not even begun. Thematic committees are yet to be formed, and despite these lapses, the Parliament session is likely to be extended. With the ongoing session being engaged in technical aspects, the next session, which will discuss the budget, is likely to be delayed as well. With the lapse of almost 3 months since the beginning of the session of the House of Representatives, the government has registered only 3 bills so far. Committees for discussion on the bills that have already been amended have yet to be formed. The bill for amendment on the Act related to transitional justice was drawn into controversies. Procedures have been halted as committees have not been formed for topics requiring parliamentary hearing. Despite 18 meetings of the House held so far, sessions have been limited to the parliamentarians airing their opinions during the special and 0 hours. Main opposition CPNUML has alleged the government of failing to assign tasks and affecting the performance of the parliament. Members of the House of Representatives from the ruling parties are also not satisfied with the performance of the Parliament. They are of the understanding that the Parliament has been engaged in procedural hassles and failed to operate in an efficient manner. Significant bills related to Federal Civil Service, Amendment of Citizenship Act, Federal Education Act, and Federal Police Act, among others, requiring immediate endorsement, have remained stranded as well. Even with many tasks pending, the Parliament is struggling to prepare its schedule. Preparation of the regulations consumed a long period of time, which has led to the situation for extension of the session, which will affect the budget session of the House. Based on the constitutional provision, the budget must be introduced on the 15th of Jyeshtha as per the Nepali calendar. Now, to meet this requirement, the next session must be called after the end of the ongoing session. Pre-budget discussions are to be held while the priorities are to be presented 15 days before introducing the budget. The government must also introduce its policies and programs during this period. Inadequate attention regarding these tasks will lead to holding the next session and introduction of the budget in rush. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked in several provinces, why are public elsewhere still compelled to travel to the center to have their problems addressed despite the implementation of federalism? Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
पालिका प्रमुखले आफूलाई राजा सोचिरहेका ठानिरहेका छन्।
व्यक्तिगत स्वार्थ पनि हुन सक्छ।
स्थानीय सरकारले पनि आफ्नो स्वायत्त गर्न नसकेकै कारण
संविधानमा लेखे अनुसार चाहिँ अधिकारहरू चाहिँ स्थानीय तहमा चाहिँ नपुगेको
स्थानीय सरकारलाई प्रदेश स्तरमा आफ्नो अधिकार चाहिँ दिन नचाहेको हो कि
तुरुन्त कानुन बनाएर यो देश संघीयतामा ढाल्नको निमित्त जनतालाई संघीय राज्यतिर जान पर्ने बाध्यता हटाउनु पर्थ्यो।
जनताको चाहिँ विकासप्रतिको चाहिँ अपेक्षा र माग बढ्यो हुनु
व्यवस्था मात्रै आयो तर त्यो जुन कारणको पाटो थियो त्यो अहिले हुन सकेको छैन।
न्यायिक समिति हुँदाखेरि पनि जनताले त्यसको महत्त्व बुझ्दैनन्।
केन्द्रले राम्रो भूमिका नखेलेको
ओडामा चाहिँ अनि एउटाको सरकार छ अनि फेरि आएर चाहिँ नगरपालिकामा चाहिँ मेयर उपमेयर चाहिँ अर्को पार्टीको हुनुहुन्छ भने त उहाँले त त्यो पैसा त्यहाँ हाल्न चाहन्न नि त।
केन्द्रले पर्याप्त मात्रामा स्थानीय तहलाई बजेटको चाहिँ निकासा नगरिएको कारणले
A 21-member consultation committee of the House of Representatives has been formed. Tomorrow's meeting of the House of Representatives is to endorse the members of the committee as well. A meeting including political parties represented at the Parliament led by Speaker Devraj Khimire concluded on the members of the committee. Based on the representation of the parties at the Parliament, the committee will include 6 members from Nepali Congress, 5 from CPN-UML and 2 from CPN-Maoist Center, along with a member each from Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Janata Samajwadi Party, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, CPN Unified Socialist, Janamat Loktantrik Samajwadi Party, Nagarik Unmukti, Aam Janata and an independent parliamentarian. Tomorrow's meeting of the House of Representatives will endorse the name of the members of the committee. Meanwhile, discussions were also held today regarding giving a full shape to the Parliamentary Hearing Committee. However, a consensus remained elusive. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, has investigated 11,179 grievances and has registered 102 cases at the Special Court in the past 8 months. The CIAA registers an average of 7 cases at the Special and the Supreme Courts each week. Despite the large number of cases registered by the Commission, the anti-graft body's role regarding major cases related to policy level and financial corruption has remained negligible. The CIAA has registered 19 cases related to abuse of public property, 47 cases related to illegal gains and losses, 15 cases of bribery, 3 cases related to illegal accumulation of wealth, 7 cases of forging academic certificates, 4 cases of tax evasion, and 7 other cases at the Special Court. Likewise, there are 17 incidents based on grievances registered at the Commission and being caught red-handed. These data are evidence to the fact that the Commission has been focusing minor cases while ignoring major cases of corruption. 497 individuals have been made defendants in the 102 cases registered at the Commission. With the anti-graft body engaged in such cases, experts have raised questions on the priorities and intention of the Commission's leadership. The trend of the authority being engaged on minor cases while protecting the bigger offenders has been thriving. In the previous fiscal year, the Commission had registered 32 cases related to bribery, 6 cases of forged academic certificates, 7 cases of amassing illegal wealth, 5 cases of revenue leakage, and 12 other cases. A total of 639 individuals were made defendants in those cases, including 538 men and 101 women. The Commission had claimed 2,792,748,000 rupees from the defendants, with the Special Court issuing clean chits to 60% of the defendants on 131 cases registered by the CIAA within a year. Doubts have surfaced regarding the investigation process of the Commission along with the justice delivery process as well. The Department of Environment is tasked with the responsibility of providing information to the public regarding the status of air pollution in the country and increasing awareness as well. However, instead of informing the public, the department itself is not aware about the status of air pollution and quality in different parts of the country. Of the 27 air quality monitoring stations established or installed in different parts of the country to measure the air quality of air, 24 stations have stopped recording data. In the pretext of inadequate funds, the Department of Environment has not been able to repair damaged equipment of 15 places for the past 16 months. According to the department, equipment of Nepalganj, Dang, Simara, Dhamak and Dhulikhel among others are to be repaired. Data has not been received from 9 other places for the past 2 months, including Lumbini, Dhankuta, Chitwan, 2 stations of Pokhara along with Ratna Park, Kirtipur, Shankhamul and Pulchok of Kathmandu, as the devices have not been recharged. The department has said that the devices have not been recharged because of inadequate funds. With the objective of measuring the quality of air and formulating required plans and projects based on the obtained data, the department has established air quality monitoring stations in several parts of the country between 2016 and 2020. The department currently receives information about the air quality only from Khumaltare in Lalitpur, Rara of Mugu and Hetoda of Makwanpur. Uncertainty regarding the quality of air across the country has been increasing because of the failure in ensuring the efficient performance of the air quality monitoring stations. Now, according to the World Bank, the economic growth rate of Nepal is to be limited to 4.1% in the ongoing fiscal year. As per the conclusion of the World Bank, despite the growth of service and agriculture sector, the shrinking of industries and construction sector coupled with the reduction in flow of loans in the private sector are to reduce the economic growth rate. Making public the Nepal Development Update, the World Bank has said that the contribution of the service sector in Nepal's economic growth rate is likely to be limited to 5.2% in the ongoing fiscal year and is likely to figure 5.8% the next year. Contribution of the agriculture sector is likely to figure 2.6%. The report states that price of consumable goods is likely to continue increasing because of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. The World Bank has said that expansion of the economy is likely to be obstructed because of inflation higher than expectations. It has further added that the economic growth has slowed down because of the monetary policy of the Nepal Rashtra Bank, global inflation and policies implemented to curb imports. Meanwhile, analysts have said that strict policies are the need of the hour. Saying political stability was imperative to ensure economic development and expansion, the World Bank has suggested Nepal to ensure the same. The World Bank issues the report twice a year by considering major economic indicators and the global factors. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Pulse.
Before we ask today's question, let us take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we had asked what should be done to curb the spread of coronavirus. 79% were for A, everyone should follow guidelines. 14% were for B, ease in access to vaccines. And 7% were for C, sound health services. And here is our today's question: what should be done to ensure the transparency of non-government organizations? Your options are A, intensify regulation, B, introduce one-door policy, and C, ensure accountability. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Welcome back. It is now time for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal have suffered a 5-1 defeat against Vietnam in their Women's Olympic Football Tournament Asia Qualifiers match, which was played today. In the match played at the Dashwood Stadium, Vietnam scored 3 first-half goals. Host Nepal wasted their opportunity to score first in the 9th minute. Vietnam found the back of the net 2 minutes later as Pham Hai Yen put the visitors ahead. When Thi Tuet Dung then doubled Vietnam's lead in the 20th minute, while captain Nhu Nhiu extended their lead to 3 goals as she converted a penalty. Nhu scored her second goal of the match 3 minutes later after the break to make it 4-0 for Vietnam. Nepal forward Savitra Vandari pulled one back for Nepal in the 79th minute. However, Vietnam reinstated their 4-goal lead in the additional time through Nguyen Thi Than Na, and the match ended in a 5-1 defeat for Nepal. The second match between the two nations is slated for the 8th of April. Next is the weather update. That is all for the moment. Up next is the news in Nepali. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.